Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today. And though you've come through many obstacles.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to Season 2, Episode 11 of The Owl House. We are finally back. It's been quite a long time, but it's good to be back. Really hyped for this, really excited. I've been waiting pretty much all day for the episode to get up on something that I could watch it, and it's up. So we're getting to it. Yeah. I'm very hyped for this. I don't know anything going in. I did not watch any Season 2B trailers. I did not watch or look at any of the screenshots or whatnot that had been floating around. I have been very actively avoiding all spoilers possible for the second half of this season because, as I've stated well in the past, I truly believe that a show is best enjoyed blind. And in terms of reactions are always best the blinder they are. Because that way the reactor's reaction is more genuine, more on the fly. It allows for a more truthful just reaction to whatever's happening. When you know, even a title can spoil you to things happening to where things just won't hit you, won't affect you as much if you know even just the title. And I mean, yeah, some series aren't as bad with that as like One Piece or something, but still, you can learn a lot from a title, and you can theorize a lot from a title. So I don't even look at those. I try to go in as spoiler-free as possible because, again, it gives the best reaction for you all to experience, and it gives the best viewing experience for me as well. So, yeah, I don't know anything. Last we left off, though, we had V. And V was one of those characters. I've seen the memes say it, but basically, V is that character who's just like the very first time we see them, everybody is scared and freaked out and horrified and everything. But then it's like the episode actually comes out that truly introduces them, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, baby, must protect. You know what I mean? That was very much how everything went with V. The first time we saw them as the quote-unquote fake Luz or shadow Luz or whatever title you wanted to give to the character, everybody was like, what the fuck is that? But then we see the episode come out and everybody's just instantly in love. Because V is a likable character. V is well written. And hell, even the wait between those two episodes really helped just allow that lovable nature to shine more. Because you were expecting something else, the lovable nature that V has was allowed to truly just be highlighted. And I love that. But we also had a big reveal in Camilla, Luz's mom, learning about everything. Maybe not every little detail, but learning where Luz has been, what's been going on, all of that stuff. And it kind of closed out on a very emotional note, with Luz having to go back into the Boiling Isles, because it was never a permanent solution anyways. She wasn't even really physically there anyway, but still. And it got really, really heavily emotional at the end. When Luz and her mom had to part again. Luckily, Camilla will have V there for her, and vice versa. And Luz will definitely still have Ida and the rest to be her family while she's there. And I'm very interested to see where this goes. Now, with this premiere, Amphibia also returned, but that's in season 3, and I've only finished season 1 of Amphibia. So if anyone is coming to this channel, sees this reaction, and is like, oh, like this and this is similar to Amphibia or whatnot, don't say that shit. I've only seen season 1 of Amphibia, so no Amphibia spoilers either. Just saying that as well. No spoilers for anything for the future of this, whether it even be episode titles or synopsises or whatever. No spoilers. No spoilers for Amphibia. Just don't spoil anything on this channel. In the comments, etc. Do not do it. But I'm very, very excited. I literally changed into this shirt right before starting this recording just to be wearing this shirt for this. So you could tell I'm very, very excited. I even recently did some drawings of Amity and Luz in preparation for this weekend. Well, the weekend in terms of when I'm recording this, but obviously you're seeing this on Tuesday, but still, or Wednesday rather, but still, you get the idea nonetheless. Either way, I'm very, very excited, but I've said that already. I said that already. I love this series. It's become very important to me. It's a comfort show for sure. And it's very much on the verge of possibly becoming either my favorite or second favorite show of all time. I could very much see that happening. It would honestly take a lot to take the number 1 spot from One Piece for me, but I could see this show doing it. If any show is going to be able to do that, it would be Owl House. But yeah, like I said, I know nothing going into this about what this episode's going to be about. I don't know what it's called. I don't know anything. I assume since it is our first episode back after months away, that it's going to at least be exciting and fun, and I assume it's not going to be just a really generic episode. It's not going to be like a series premiere finale level episode necessarily, but it's not going to be just this random generic one either. Especially after where season 2A left off. So that's the only kind of guess or theory I have regarding this, because again, not knowing anything. And that's how I prefer to keep it. So let's just get this going, hope for the best, and see what this episode has in store for us. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, I wanted to look at the credits more than for finding out Terra Snapdragon's voice. I wanted to check Rain's, because is it just me, or did Rain sound different? It's the same voice actor. Avi is still voicing Rain, but I don't know if they're just doing the voice differently. I don't know. There could be a lot of reasons behind it. I'm not going to just assume one thing or the other, but the voice was, it sounded a little deeper to me. Maybe that's just me. Maybe it's just because it's been a while since I've heard them speak and all, but I don't know. I wanted to point that out because it was something I was thinking about during the course of the episode. So, that being said, this was a very good return to the series and the season as a whole. I said in the pre-thoughts that I wanted this to actually be an impressive return, to be something special in a way. I wanted it to leave an impact, to be an episode that wasn't just your generic run-of-the-mill everyday episode, and it definitely wasn't. Follies at the Coven Day Parade, I believe it's what it's called, was a really important episode for a lot of reasons. It follows up the mid-season finale perfectly, as well as puts forth some future stuff. The biggest thing, obviously, being the end, with Bellows revealing at least the most basic view of his plan to basically bring the chosen few, the worthy, to paradise, which is a very concerning thing, because we know he's trying to build the door. We know a lot of things that he's trying to figure out, and it's just like, just not a lot of great hints here. Plus, with the entire stuff with the brothers, the human brothers who came to the Boiling Isles, and him being one of them and everything, and it's just like, there's a lot I'm questioning. One thing that actually surprised me is Hunter wasn't in this episode at all. With how big and important this episode was, it almost seemed like one that Hunter would be in. But no, he wasn't even seen. Like, I don't think he was even in the background unless I missed him. Which is really interesting. I wonder how long it'll take to see him again. Especially since there's the working theory from the fandom that he's a clone of Bellows. Or something similar. But we'll see. We'll see. So yeah, this episode, pretty simple. Following what happened last time, Luz is determined to prove that a person can live in both the human world and the Boiling Isles, and kind of like go back and forth between them, basically. And that it would be just fine. Basically, the idea of living in two different worlds simultaneously. And when she finds out that Kikimora is in trouble, or seems to be in trouble, and has this question about, oh, can I go visit my family, or would that be putting the Emperor out, and stuff like that, she wants to help to prove to herself that she can do this. Meanwhile, Amity is worried about Luz, because Luz has been clearly not telling her everything about the door and all. So she's trying to just figure out what's going on. Luz, with the help from Kikimora and Ida and King and Hootie, all decide to basically raid the parade and kidnap both Kikimora and Rain. Kiki obviously being planned for, because she's part of the planning for this plan. Yeah, part of the planning for this plan. And Rain is the one that's not expected. Though we find out as we go along this episode, Rain is very clearly being mind controlled. Her memories are being erased by Terra, and she is being controlled by this plant tea. All tea is plants, but you know what I mean. That is being given to them. I don't know why she's erasing Rain's memories and just knowledge of the past month, basically. But it's not good for them. And obviously Ida doesn't want to see them like this, as we see during their confrontation and brief fight, which is very upsetting to see. But it's also cute that Luz ships them very clearly and relates it to her books, her Azora books. But it's like, yeah, seeing them actually come blow to blow, not very fun. It's actually really upsetting. So hopefully we'll be able to save Rain at some point, because we definitely want them on our side. Just for their sake, but also for Ida's as well. I really want them and Ida to get back together. I really, really do. Such a cute couple. Such a cute couple. But we do see Luz and Amity fight together against Kikimora in this. And although it seems to be either more or less evenly matched, but with Kiki having a bit of an advantage, the fight is stopped by Terra, who delivers a message saying that the Emperor is very interested in meeting Luz, which it's like they've met before, so it's like I don't understand the wording and context of that, which is very much, I feel, intentional. I feel like there's a point to how that was worded and all. Like they even kind of point that out at the end of the episode. And it was obvious, by the way, that Kiki was tricking them, that it was all a ruse and everything. Like, no fucking shit. It's like, there has been no hints, absolutely nothing, of Kiki having this side to her. So the idea of Kiki being nicer, nicer in any kind of way like this is just, it literally comes out of nowhere in this episode, and it's just like, it's not believable. It's not believable for a second. So it's obvious it was a trap the entire time. I really love the scene where Amity goes to Willow's house and they spend some time together. Amity starts to braid her hair and everything, and their friendship is healing. And I think that's really good to see. Like, there was obviously some big issues, and it even said before that they weren't going to be all better right away. But the fact that we are seeing the healing of that friendship is just phenomenal. I love it. It's definitely a friendship that I think needs to be healed. And I'm glad we got that here. King and Hootie's part in this episode was very much comic relief. It was pretty much just King and Hootie being King and Hootie, just being annoying, purposefully annoying, to basically be distractions. And it's like, okay, they served their purpose, but they didn't really have any like big exciting role to play in the episode outside of that. Outside of just being a distraction and everything, like, they weren't really super relevant to the episode. But probably my favorite part of the episode is probably the most mundane. When Amity comes to the steps while Gus, Willow, and Luz are talking and everything, and calls Luz a sweet potato in Spanish, and then they talk about how she's been learning from the human books and everything. It's like, it's just so fucking wholesome and cute. And it's like, yes, part of it is because of the obvious. Part of it is because, you know, I am always super hyped over queer relationships in media. That kind of shit always gets to me. Like, I'm always, like, it's always going to be a win. But seeing Amity putting in the work to, like, understand and connect with Luz like this, and the little kiss on the cheek, again, it's a cheek kiss, but it's still a kiss. We got another Lumity kiss, and it's like, God, I feel like I'm wrapped up in a warm blanket every time we see these two just being cute girlfriends together. It's just the warmest, most coziest, most comfy feeling. And it's like, this series is really one of the best examples of how to do a queer relationship in modern television, modern animation especially. It is just so natural, so real, so wholesome. It's just happening. They don't make a big deal out of it. It's not like no one tries to, like, say this big thing about how it's, oh, they're both girls or anything. No, that's not brought up. It's not brought up once. No one cares about that. It's just how it is. and everyone loves it. It's really cute, it's wholesome, and it's just there. And that's the best part of it. And honestly, they're just that damn fucking cute together. Like, they just are. Luz and Amity are honestly one of my favorite couples, probably in anything I've watched. I'm not even kidding you. Like, there's been a lot of shows, movies, yeah, you could even count games here, a lot of animation, live action, what have you. There's been a lot of media that has had great couples of all different kinds of orientations and whatnot. And there's a lot of them that I really love. But this one, it's just like, I just feel so... It just feels so important, so connected. I just... It just feels the most believable and real and just instantly lovable from a viewing perspective. That it's just like, of course that shit's going to be my favorite part of this episode. Amongst all the big, awesome stuff that happened, like, some people are probably going to say, oh, the fight between Luz and Amity and Kikimora is their favorite part. Or the battle between Ida and Rain. Stuff like that. And it's like, I get that. People like exciting shit. That's awesome. I like that stuff too. But just something very down to earth, mundane and simple like that, but still holding so much importance and power in every word spoken during that scene is just like, it just means so much. And part of that is because of how much I love Amity specifically. Like, I made that video on why Amity is a comfort character for me. I adore Amity's character. She's my favorite in the series, and getting to see her doing stuff like this and being like this and just being the best girlfriend ever, it's just like, I love it. I love it. I love the sweet potato nickname. That is just the cutest fucking thing. But yeah, it's just, this was a really, really damn good episode. I could not tell you where I would rank it. I could not. I've only seen it this one time. There is the recency bias. I would definitely need to see it more often before I could even consider thinking about that. But yeah, I very much enjoyed this. I'm so happy Owl House is back. It's been hard without it, but obviously there's so many great series that are out nowadays and so many older ones that I'm getting into. Ghost of Molly McGee has been a great placeholder for the time. And now I get to actually react to both at once. So that's just a pure blissful experience just to think about. That I get two of my biggest comfort shows and I'm reacting to them both at once. It's just like, just cover me in a giant blanket and call me a burrito already. I'm like, I'm just so comfy. But seriously, I really did love this. It sets up a lot for the future. It gives us like legitimate goals to hope for our heroes to achieve. And it introduces a new Coven head, which is definitely great, and I definitely want to see fan art of her because honestly, she's pretty nice looking. I've never been like a huge. I know a lot of people are into like the more mature people in terms of like attractiveness. And for me, it's like there's certain characters here and there, like Melanie and Kabu from Pokemon, but for the most part, that's never really been a huge attraction factor for me. But there are certain mature, older characters who just do it for me, and she definitely does. She very much does. It's like she is just beautiful, and it makes sense that they would make the Plant Coven leader beautiful, because it's like you watch almost anything with a character who's based around plant life, and it's like they're almost always good looking. It's like, is that just me? It's like it's just a common trope that I see, where it's like they're almost always conventionally good looking. And I don't know the exact reason they do that. Maybe because of the beauty of nature idea. In fact, that probably is it. Let's be honest. Probably the idea of the beauty of nature. But it's like, it's just 10 out of 10 for me. Very, very, very beautiful. It's like, you all can simp after Darius all you want. I'm simping after Tara. But in all seriousness, or Rain. I do like Rain as well. But in all seriousness, yeah. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this episode. So let me know in the comments below what you thought of the return to the Owl House. Season 2B, episode 11 of Season 2. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think of this setup. And obviously, like I said in the pre-thoughts, if you know titles or synopsises or stuff for the future, no spoilers. I wish to remain as spoiler-free as possible. This series is just so important to me that, especially with Owl House, I want to not be spoiled. So, just please, just be careful about that. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below, and thank you all so much for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.